Assalamu alaikum. This is Prapunti Chakraborty welcoming you to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. 2 MUs over international internet bandwidth. Recruitment of specialist doctors and health workers in Bhutan signed. Another 3.3 magnitude earthquake jolts the country with epicenter at Balash in North Shindi. All risky buildings in Dhaka to be identified and necessary measures be taken soon, says Raater chairman. Election Commission to hold fair, acceptable and impartial elections, says EC Abu Fazl Muhammad Sanaullah. Islam never supports using religion for political benefit, says BNP Secretary General. Country fails to make progress in 54 years of independence due to looting of people's wealth, comments Jamaat-e-Islami Amir. Israel kills 67 children in Gaza even after U.S. brokered ceasefire comes into effect, says United Nations. And Bangladesh defeat Timor-Leste by 5-0 goals in under-17 Asian Cup qualifier match in China. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. A bilateral meeting at the High Representative level between Bangladesh and Bhutan was held today. The Bangladesh delegation was led by Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus, while the Bhutanese delegation was led by the country's Prime Minister Sherin Tobgay. During the meeting, various areas of bilateral cooperation were discussed, including trade and investment, connectivity, education, agriculture, health, energy and power, telecommunications, tourism, culture, youth and sports, and industry. Earlier, Bhutan's Prime Minister Sherin Tobgay also held a one-on-one meeting with Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus. Bhutanese Prime Minister Sherin Tobgay paid tributes to the Liberation War martyrs by placing a wreath at the National Memorial in Shavar. After placing the wreath at the altar of the memorial, he stood in solemn silence for a few minutes in memory of the martyrs of the Great Liberation War in 1971. A contingent of Bangladesh Army, Navy, and Air Force presented a state salute while a melancholy tune was being played on the bugles. Liberation War Affairs Advisor Farooq Azam, Bir Protik Commerce Advisor Sheikh Boshiruddin, Chattogram Hill Tracks Affairs Advisor Shubhdeep Chakma, and Housing and Public Works Secretary Mohammed Nazrul Islam were present on the occasion. Later, the Bhutanese premier signed the visitors' book kept there and planted a bokul sapling on the memorial premises. After yesterday's 5.7 magnitude earthquake that struck Dhaka and several other parts of the country, mild tremors were felt again today. This 3.3 magnitude earthquake occurred at 10:36 a.m. with its epicenter located in the Balash area of North Shindi. Researchers said this was an aftershock of yesterday's earthquake. Multiple aftershocks are likely to follow a major quake. According to the Earthquake Research Center of the Bangladesh Meteorological Department, the epicenter of yesterday's 5.7 magnitude earthquake was in the Madhubi area of North Shindi, about 13 kilometers east of the Meteorological Department. Today's earthquake also had its epicenter in the same Upazila, but approximately 29 kilometers southeast of the meteorological department. According to Bangladesh's earthquake history, this is the strongest earthquake since the country's birth in 1971, and such a powerful tremor centering Dhaka has not been experienced even in the last 100 years. Due to Bangladesh's geographically vulnerable location, mild to moderate earthquakes are felt from time to time, and the possibility of a major earthquake cannot be ruled out. A powerful 5.7 magnitude earthquake struck Dhaka and several other parts of Bangladesh yesterday, leaving at least 10 people dead and injuring more than 200. The tremor felt at 10:38 in the morning yesterday triggered widespread panic and caused structural damage across the capital and neighboring districts. Many residents rushed out of homes and offices in fear, leading to a large number of injuries. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus emphasized the need for coordinated action to assess risk, support victims, and prevent further casualties. After visiting injured victims at Dhaka Medical College Hospital, Health Advisor Noor Jahan Begum said the high number of casualties resulted largely from panic-driven reactions during the quake rather than building collapses alone. In Old Dhaka's Bangshal area, 3 pedestrians were killed when the railing of a 5-story building in Koshaituli collapsed. Police recovered the bodies and sent them to the hospital for autopsy. In Mugda's Modinbagh area, a 50-year-old security guard, Maksud, died after the railing of an under-construction building gave way during the tremor. In Rupganj, Narayanganj, a 10-month-old girl, Fatima Khatun, was killed when a neighboring boundary wall collapsed on her. The chairman of the Rajdhani Unnayan Kotripokho, Rajuk Engineer Mohammad Riazul Islam, has said all risky buildings in Dhaka will soon be identified and necessary measures will be taken. He made the statement today after inspecting the damaged building in Kayashiltuli of Bangshal in the capital. The Rajuk chairman said the owner of the building in Kashaituli, where the railing collapsed during an earthquake, failed to present the building's design blueprint. He instructed that if the design is not shown within the next 7 days, the building will be sealed. Advising the demolition of old or high-rise houses built on small plots and encouraging joint construction by several owners, the Rajuk chairman said, if a single building is constructed by combining multiple plots, it may initially cause some loss for them, but even if there is some loss, the new building they will receive will compensate and prove even more beneficial because the height allowed and other facilities they will receive will ensure that they are not financially disadvantaged. Election Commissioner retired Brigadier General Abul Fazl Muhammad Sanaullah said the Election Commission has challenges in preventing malpractice on social media and the misuse of artificial intelligence during the upcoming national election. However, the Election Commission is fully prepared to conduct a free, fair, and neutral election, he remarked. The Election Commissioner made the remarks today at the inaugural ceremony of the workshop titled Building Bridges, Regional Electoral Governance and Citizen Observation Exchange, organized by the Asian Network for Free Elections at a hotel in the capital. Election experts from Sri Lanka, South Korea, Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines spoke at the workshop. Election Commission Senior Secretary Akhtar Ahmed and other top officials were present in the opening ceremony. Election Commissioner retired Brigadier General Abul Fazl Muhammad Sanaullah said the past 3 elections had made the Election Commission controversial. To restore its image and regain the trust of voters, the Election Commission is working to overcome all obstacles and ensure that the upcoming parliamentary election is held in a free, fair, and impartial manner. Religious Affairs Advisor Dr. A.F.M. Khalid Hussain has urged the youths to work devotedly with their talents and strength to shape the country as an ideology-based state. The advisor said this while speaking as the chief guest at annual Mahfil and certificate-giving ceremony of As-Sunnah Model Madrasa held at well-parked residents in the city's GEC crossing area today. Khalid Hussain said the society can be changed positively if religious education is synchronized with modern education. Religious Affairs Advisor said the interim government is working to hold a free, fair, neutral election in festive manner in next February, which would be acceptable to all. The chief advisor of the Sunnah Model Madrasa and Pesh Imam of Andurkilla Shahi Jame Masjid, Anwarul Islam Azari, presented and presided over the function, while Professor Dr. Mumtaz Uddin Qadiri, Maulana Suhail Saleh also spoke at the function as special guest. Later, Religious Affairs Advisor distributed certificates among the successful students in annual examination of Hifz department of the madrasa. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said Islam never supports using religion for political disadvantage. He made the remarks at the discussion titled "The Pivotal Role of Mosque-Based Children's and Mass Education Caretakers in Developing the Nation and Enhancing Morality and Religious Values," held in the capital today. Maulana Shah Muhammad Nisarul Haq, governor of the Islamic Foundation Board of Governors, presided over the discussion, while Maulana Muhammad Muhyiddin, Imam and Khatib of Residential Model College, Muhammad Rafiqul Islam, former director of the Islamic Foundation, and Zubaydur Rahman, president of the Moshik Caretaker Welfare Council, addressed the event. Fakhrul emphasized that everyone must remain vigilant to help establish a democratic system through free, fair, and acceptable elections. The country's students and people have risked their lives to oust fascist regime, and BNP will use this opportunity to work toward protecting the rights of all citizens, he added. Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami Army Dr. Shofiqur Rahman has said the country has not made any progress in 54 years of independence because those who were in power in the past looted the people's wealth. He has made this comment in response to a question from journalists in Chattogram this afternoon. Dr. Shofiqur Rahman said, if the tyrannical oppressors can be ousted from the country through the victory of the people, not the victory of a specific party, then the overall victory will be achieved. Earlier, Jamaat-e-Islami Army Dr. Shofiqur Rahman landed at the Chowk Bazaar Parade Ground in Chattogram City in a helicopter. Leaders of Chattogram Metropolitan, North and South District Jamaat-e-Islami welcomed him. Later, Jamaat-e-Islami Army Dr. Shofiqur Rahman attended the Dasturbondi and Islamic Conference on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the city's East Feroz Shah Al-Jamiatul Islamiyya wa Darul Yatama Madrasa. Maulana Mamunul Haq, Amir of Khilafat-e-Majlis, among others, addressed the event. Now, international news. The United Nations Children's Fund said at least 67 Palestinian children have been killed in the Gaza Strip since a United States brokered ceasefire agreement came into effect last month. Speaking during a news conference in Geneva on Friday, UNICEF spokesperson Ricardo Pires said the death toll includes a baby girl who was killed in an Israeli airstrike on a home in southern Gaza's Khan Yunis on Thursday. It also includes 7 other children killed a day earlier as Israel carried out a wave of attacks across the enclave. This is during an agreed ceasefire. The pattern is staggering, Pires told reporters of the death toll since October 11th, the first full day of the truce between Israel and Hamas. As we have repeated many times, these are not statistics. Each was a child with a family, a dream, a full life, suddenly cut short by continued violence. Palestinian children have borne the brunt of Israel's bombardment of Gaza, with UNICEF estimating last month that 64,000 children have been killed and injured in Israel's attack since the war began in October 2023. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said his country risks losing its dignity and freedom or Washington's backing as it molds a United States plan to end the Russia-Ukraine war that observers say endorses many of Moscow's demands. In a speech delivered on Friday in the street outside his office, Zelensky appealed to Ukrainians for unity and said he would never betray Ukraine. He will fight 24/7 to ensure that at least 2 points in the plan are not overlooked: the dignity and freedom of Ukrainians, he added. Zelensky's comments came as U.S. President Donald Trump appeared to have given Kyiv less than a week to agree to his 28-point proposal to end the war, nearly 4 years after Russia launched its full-scale invasion in February of 2022. United States President Donald Trump and New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani held talks in the White House, expressing their hope for a productive and cordial relationship despite their history of mutual criticism. Speaking to the press after their discussion on Friday, Trump raised and praised Mamdani, the Muslim politician whom he once tarred as a jihadist, and threatened to strip him of his U.S. citizenship for his successful campaign and emphasis on cost of living issues. We have just had a great meeting, a really productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want the city of ours that we love to do very well, said Trump, who grew up in New York, adding that Mamdani had run an incredible race and beat his rivals easily. Asked about areas of disagreement with Trump, such as immigration enforcement, Mamdani said he hoped to work together towards shared goals despite their differences.